G'day race fans. We move on from the European leg of the Formula One season on to Azerbaijan. No more team orders this week, Mick. We want to see the two McLarens race. Will Red Bull produce another race-winning car for Max?
I think we're in for an absolute ball terror of a race, man. Only because when you look at the past, we've had 8 safety cars in the last 7 races. I think the last 5 out of the last 8 races have been won by less than 5 seconds. End of rule regulations, man. We're seeing how tight the field is. This weekend, I don't know. Anything could happen.
Well, the weather gods are giving us cloudy, sunny weather. It's not going to be too hot, around 23 to 24 degrees. For Friday, there may be a small chance of rain. I don't think we've ever had any wet weather at Baku.
No, not that I can recall.
It would throw up a nice little surprise if we did get that, but it looks very unlikely. Street circuit, as we know, walls are nice and close. As you mentioned, plenty of safety cars here, so strategy can play a massive role. It is a good move from Pirelli bringing that C6 compound to help spice up the pit stop strategies. Checo Perez, got to mention him. He's the only multi-winner here. Yes, Max Verstappen has had some bad luck with that tyre blowout. We all remember him kicking the tyre in disgust after that happened. Now, what do you think of Red Bull's chances here? They looked damn good in Monza. Max Verstappen, he's coming off excursion over at the Nürburgring over the weekend.
It could be in for a shout, man. I think we're going to a circuit that's, you could say, similar in style. It'll be low downforce. Traction is key. Got that 4,000 kilometer long main straight.
He's in the top end.
Yeah, I think it could be in with a shout again, man. We've seen when that thing goes on a lower downforce style configuration, that car's mighty, man. And I don't think McLaren are going to have it all their own way again. Yuki side, man, same thing. Q3, and you've got to maximize your points. You've managed to get into Q3 a couple of times, but you still haven't maximized your Sunday. And I think that's got to be a big focus. We've already said he's not 100% comfortable in that car. We get that, but you've got to start. Well, I mean, you don't need to start. You should have already started. You've just got to maximize Sunday. Honestly, I think we could see something very similar to we saw last time out in Monza.
Yeah, you're right. Well, if Max can pull out a win here, I mean, it spices the championship up a little bit. Look, he's still an outside chance. And a lot of people sort of, I don't know, I think it might be a little bit of hopium. But there seems to be a lot of confidence back in that Red Bull after what we saw out in Monza. But look, he'll need to string together a lot of victories and a bit of luck to go his way. All right, on to McLaren. We had the team orders out last time in Monza, which caused a lot of discussion online, which gave, I guess, with the week off, gave plenty of people to vent. They did pretty well out here last time. Oscar Piastri was the race winner in 2024. Are we going to see any more team orders from this point forward? Technically, McLaren haven't quite wrapped up the Constructors' Championship. So do you think they could...
Can they wrap it up this weekend? I think they can. I think they can actually wrap the championship up this weekend. So you would have to go in saying, okay, that will be their sole focus. Are we going to see team orders again? Who knows? I guess we won't know until they're put into that position. And like I said, we've had 8 safety cars in the last 7 races here, so anything is possible. I don't think McLaren are going to have it their own way this weekend, especially like I mentioned before with Max. They're not going to have a massive tyre advantage that we've seen in past races because of the low tyre deg and the big long straights here. So for them, I think for both drivers, like it's so close, man. It's tiny margins. If whoever makes a mistake in qualifying is going to be the loser. Lando's just got to go out and finish ahead of Oscar. That's all he can do. Pure and simple. There's nothing else he can do but make sure he finishes ahead of Oscar. Oscar, man, I think just no risks this weekend because we've seen, especially at this circuit, you take a risk, it can go wrong pretty quickly. Damage limitation, if you're not in a position to win the race, make sure you're sitting right behind Lando. They were one of the slowest in the speed trap in Monza. When we're looking at that massive long straight again without a toe, they could be in a bit of trouble. Yeah, again, fine margins, man. It's whoever can minimize the mistakes. I think I'm going to say Oscar will have the upper hand here this weekend. But again, anything can happen.
Yeah, well, we saw how aggressive the race start in Monza was just a couple of weeks ago, and how I thought Piastri, even Norris, would probably take it a little bit more easier because, a DNF can obviously spell a disaster for the championship.
Yeah.
Mate, they were racy. I think they're still going to be racy this week, and we know that Azerbaijan can be a bit of a banana skin track, push a little bit too hard. Those walls are pretty close. So I think from that point of view, it's going to be really exciting to see how the McLaren team dynamics plays out and the risk versus reward. Do they go for that extra pass, that risky pass for an extra few points, or do they sort of just settle in and be like, well, if I'm in, for instance, it's all about just beating your teammate at this point. It doesn't really matter going for the win.
Yeah.
So as long as they're in front of the other guy on the side of the garage, then I think we'll see a little bit more calmness from them.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see them both go into turn one with that slipstream. We've seen Oscar have a couple of cracks and lock that front inside wheel. So none of that, Oscar, because we don't need another Ricardo Verstappen incident.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, if he's not on the front row, it's damage limitation and just make sure you're there or thereabouts to put some pressure on Norris and Norris's side, man. Just make sure you finish ahead of Oscar.
Okay, Ferrari, they'll be looking for a clean slate weekend from the get-go. Lewis Hamilton had that 5-place grid penalty last time out of Monza, so they'll be looking for a nice start to the weekend, good qualifying, get both cars up there. We're seeing Hamilton in recent times on pace, a lot closer to Charles Leclerc. Yes, there's still a lot of pressure on Hamilton to perform, we know that, but this can be that turning point of the season for him and maybe get one up on Charles, although Charles with pole position here last year, so we know he's quick.
Yeah, look, I mean, Charles has still got the edge in qualifying, and I think he may still have the edge in qualifying here this weekend. Like you said, man, Hamilton race pace was the same, if not a little bit quicker in Monza, and I expect them to be super close, man. Probably around where they were in Monza. I'm looking around 4th, 5th. I don't know if they'll be able to improve much on that. I think ride height is still a massive issue. If they can get that sorted, look, they'll be there or thereabouts. But I don't.
Chance on the podium?
Well, I don't know. Possibly. It all comes down to Saturday, right? Because we're going to a track where track evolution is going to be massive because the cars don't race on that circuit every day. So track evolution is going to be massive. So qualifying is going to be super important. You're going to need to get yourself in a position to have a little bit of clean air, but also manage to pick up a bit of a toe down that.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think we see a few teammates helping each other out, trying to take advantage of that?
All things being equal, no. If one car's at risk and the other one's safe, then yeah, of course, you would probably play that game. Like Vasseur came out in Monza and said, we prioritized tyre prep over giving one car a tow. So they've definitely got speed to be in the top 5 for sure, both cars.
Yeah.
I just don't know whether they'll have the pace
I think
they
need a bit of luck to land a podium, I think. It wouldn't be just on pure
they'll need someone
pace
to make a mistake.
Yeah.
But
or,
I mean, look, you never know.
strategy.
Like Charles is a gun, man, when it comes to that one lap stuff. He could very well pull one out of the bag.
Yeah. Now, I didn't want to go back to McLaren, but let's just say one of the McLaren lads is struggling and they rely on a tow. Do you think Oscar or Lando will give their teammate a tow to help them get through?
Well, papaya rules, they should. Whether they will or not, I guess we will have to see. Look, Piastri gave Norris a tow last time out in Monza. If the roles are reversed, is he going to do it? I guess we'll have to wait and see.
All right, Mercedes. George Russell, P5 last time out. Kimi Antonelli getting into the points in P9. Still a bit of pressure on Kimi because he just hasn't had probably a few races in a row where he's put in a pretty decent effort. So I think he'll take a bit of confidence out last time in Monza. But again, George Russell, what's the deal with the contract situation? Are we going to get that settled? I've heard rumors about he's rejected the contract deal because it hasn't been multi-year. Obviously, there's a lot of rumors floating around. Toto, get it done, mate. Like George Russell is doing, I think he's just maximizing everything he can out of that car. George Russell, come Sunday, he'll be in the mix to pick up points.
Yeah, it's going to be a typical Russell performance, right? Like I said, the car's quick enough for fourth or fifth. He'll be in fourth or fifth. He's just going to do what he does every weekend. George just does George, man, and super consistent. Toto, just get the friggin' deal done, man. Like, who are you waiting for, mate? Like, seriously, the dude is a gun, man. He has not put a foot wrong, and he's carried that team all friggin' season, dude. Like, just give him the contract, would you?
Yeah, sort
Sick
it
of
out.
hearing about it, man. Like, he's the best you're going to get, and he's the one to carry that team forward. Look, Kimi, man, he said he's glad the European season's finished, and now he can look forward to the rest of these last 8 races. Stay out of trouble, dude. Get yourself into Q3. Get yourself in the points. That's all we need to see. I think, again, Russell will be in the mix, but he won't be in the mix for a podium, I don't think.
No, a lot of luck would be required. All right, Williams, well, good news has come out for Carlos Sainz. Finally, everything has been cleared up regarding the collision he had with Liam Lawson out at Zandvoort, and there's 2 points on the license. Those penalty points have been removed. We think that's the right thing. At the time, we thought it was a racing incident, so at least some good news there. They really need to consolidate that P5 in the championship. They need both drivers in the top 10. No better time to start now at Azerbaijan. Albon, he's just been performing great. Last time out, a great P7 in the points, but it's time for Sainz to step up. How are we going with Williams? Double points? Is it your prediction?
If they want double points, they need to clean up qualifying. That has been their issue pretty much the whole season, right? For whatever reason, they just have not been able to nail the tyre prep. If they can clean that up, and we saw the pace that car had on Sunday, last time out in Monza, both cars into Q3, absolutely they've got the speed to smash a big haul of points. Albon, killing it, not much more to say. Sainz, got the penalty points removed. That's cool, but, you know, he still had to serve the penalty in the race, so, is what it is. Yeah. It's being put out in traffic, so they just, they can clean that up. Absolutely, they can both score points.
And Carlos just needs a clean weekend. Look, he's had 2 Grand Prix in a row now on the Sunday where he's had run-ins. Obviously, we had the one with Liam Lawson and Zandvoort. Then we had the Ollie Bearman incident in Monza. So surely 3rd time is a charm, and Carlos can finally pick up some points. Now, let's go into Racing Bulls, another team that showed a lot of pace last time out, but Saturday basically ruined their chances. We know Isaac Hadjar had the power unit replacement, started from pit lane. Magnificent job, still picking up a point. I think based on Monza, we can expect both cars to be challenging for double points finish. Liam needs to get back on the horse and get his Saturdays back under control. He's actually just come out recently and suggested that Isaac Hadjar is ready for that Red Bull promotion as well, which was interesting. Do you think they're going to factor here? I think they will. I think they're definitely primed for top 10. And I think we're going to see a great Racing Bull double points weekend.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why not. Sort your shit out on Saturday. And absolutely, that pace they had, that Isaac showed, and even Lawson showed at the end of the race there. Hadjar, I'm expecting another blinding performance from Hadjar. I think he's in a groove at the moment, and I think he's super, super comfortable with that car. Yeah. And he's extracting maximum. Lawson, man, just back in the groove. You know, those comments he made about Hadjar, he's ready for the Red Bull seat, maybe trying to put a little bit of extra pressure on him. a little inter-teammate psychology battle there. But, I mean, he's not wrong either.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, I think most F1 fans feel he is the logical choice for that 2026 Red Bull seat. And look, I mean, who else? Who else really can step into that role?
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah.
It has to be.
Well, yeah, it has to be.
All right, Haas, we can make this nice and quick. How were they last time out? Monza. What was Monza?
Terrible.
So, big one.
Ollie wasn't so bad, but yeah, generally terrible. Look, I think, like you said last time, the trend is your friend. It probably will continue that way. Look, they're struggling with straight line speed. They were one of, if not the slowest car in the speed traps in Monza.
Mm.
So without a toe, I think they're going to struggle here. Ollie, clean weekend, man. Keep out of trouble because, bro, you are this close to a race ban. So you cannot be getting caught up and banging wheels and going all out. I think you just need a clean weekend.
I think it was a bit unlucky last time out, though. I think that was more of a racing incident, and I think it was quite harsh.
It was harsh, but even still,
he's racked up the points. That's the issue.
You can't. Yeah, those
consistently racked up the points.
Yeah, you're only 2 points away now from a race ban. If you bang wheels with someone, and especially we're going to a street circuit that's quite narrow.
Yeah.
So watch your ass, man, and just be careful. Look, Ocon's just got to continue to lead that team, maximize, and get that car a lot better than last time out in Monza.
What do you reckon? One in the top 10? One car?
Well, the trend continues. Yeah, at least one.
Be, right?
Yeah,
has to be. All right, Alpine. Let's go with Alpine because a little bit of news. Well, I guess if you're a Franco Colapinto fan, you are probably a little bit more optimistic about Franco's position for 2026. Flavio Briatore has come out suggesting driver stability, and that's a big focus for Alpine. The jury's still out on young Franco. The thing is, though, since the midsummer break, he's been a lot more solid, staying out of trouble, and he's been matching Gasly generally. Yeah. So he's heading in the right direction now. So not that he surprised me because we know how quick he can be. It was just more, can he turn the corner and then bring a bit of confidence back into his driving after, a lot of incidences and poor performance. So what do you think? Alpine's chances this week still, they've been bottom dwellers.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the same this week. I think on Franco's side, he's been given at least till the end of the season, and I think that freed him up a little bit, and we've seen some decent performances on the back of that. And when he's clean, he's been relatively competitive compared to his teammate. So he's just got to continue that. Briatore, man, make up your friggin' mind, dude, because, it can't be good for Franco either, right? Oh, you're doing a shit job, you're out. Oh, no, we're going to give you till the end of the season. You're under a bit of pressure, I get all that. Oh, we're looking at team stability, so now he might get the second. What the dude? Yes or no? It can't be mentally good because now you just don't know where you stand, right? You're like, am I or aren't I? You've given me till the end of the season.
I guess that's when it's the initiative of the driver to then, grab the bull by the horn, so to speak, and put those performances in so that then there's no sort of none of this flaky business. So it's really up to Colapinto at the end of the day.
Yeah, say he bins it this weekend. Briatore going to come out and go, oh, this dude's shit. Now, we haven't made a decision. Well, he's not doing the job. Like, it's, Briatore's freaking all over the place, man, at the moment. Can't be good for the team, and it can't be good as a driver sitting there going, well, fuck, am I here or am I not? Am I doing a good job or am I not? You can't let me have one good performance and then tell me, oh, I might be staying.
Yeah.
Like you're just dangling a carrot. But yeah, Gasly will do Gasly, man. He might surprise us and get into Q2, Q3. Who knows? But yeah, there's nothing special is going to happen with that Alpine.
We know we've got Gasly locked in until 2028. And I think for Pierre Gasly's sanity, it probably gives him a lot of comfort knowing that that's all put behind him now and that he's got a solid, few years in front of him.
Yeah, well, I think off the back of that, I think we said it a couple of videos ago too, like with the team coming out and saying that we don't care about 2025, we're fully focused on 2026, I think that freed him up. And we've seen really strong, yes, he hasn't been outstanding, but man, he's been super solid with what he's got, man. Like when you look at it, it's probably one of his best seasons in a really, really shit car.
Yeah. If you look at Pierre Gasly, though, he's locked in now for 3 years, which in modern day Formula One, it's quite a long contract.
Yeah.
Did he really have any other option? Was there anywhere else he could have really have gone? That's the thing.
No, he was never going to get back into Red Bull.
I mean, there was no real pathway, was there,
No,
anywhere else?
no. So, but I mean, he's deserved it. He deserves to stay in that team.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
He's been
100%.
the number one driver in that team now for 3 seasons, maybe even longer.
I can see Ocon disagreeing here.
Yeah, well,
He's like, what about me?
well, if he was doing such a good job, Gasly would have gone to Haas.
Maybe.
So, yeah, I think he's locked in as the leader of that team,
Yeah, yeah.
mate.
I think it's a good look. I think it's a good move. I think it was the
Yeah.
right move for
And they're
Alpine.
super confident about 2026, man. When all the talk
Whoa.
coming out of there, they think with the Mercedes engine in the back of that
Yeah.
car, they believe they got a chassis that can match it with the top guys. So if that is truly the case, why wouldn't you stay?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm looking forward to what Alpine brings next year because of that. Like the early talk about the strength of that Mercedes power unit, and there's been talk about, like you said, about the chassis being pretty decent. So
Yep.
yeah, it's interesting times for Alpine. It could be that dark horse for 2026 because some team is going to be that, and or maybe it's Alpine. Now,
Yep.
Aston Martin, they'll be looking for a much better weekend, although I don't think we're going to see the best of them again. If you look at, say, Spa, you look at Monza, they just struggled a bit. Although Alonso, great job last time out, Q3 appearance. Race was derailed by that suspension drama. And well, Lance Stroll, it just wasn't one of his finest weekends. Do you see them factoring? I personally don't. Possibly Alonso, he does something special, but I think they'll be pretty hard pressed to have two cars in the top 10.
Alonso's a wily old character, man. He'll put himself in a position to pick up a toe from someone, no doubt. Like he's just smart, man. He's been there, done that, and he knows what he's doing. He's very clever. I still think that car's a little bit too draggy, so I'm not expecting a great deal. Even if, say, Alonso does get into Q3, is the pace 100% genuine? Because we're not seeing both cars on that same sort of pace. It's like one will do a really good job while the other one doesn't, vice versa. Until we get both cars clearly in the top 10, I don't know if that pace we saw from Alonso is 100% genuine. I think he, like I said, put himself in a good position and picked up a bit of a toe, which certainly helped move him into Q3. I'm not expecting a great deal. And if anyone's going to do it, it'll probably be Alonso. But Stroll has been the number one driver in that team.
Yeah, well, he's got the most points, so he's definitely the number one.
More pressure on him to deliver then.
100%. Now, Kick Sauber, I don't know why I brought him at the end because, I mean, they had a great race last time out with Bortoletto, P8, picking up points. Poor old Nico Hulkenberg got through the formation lap. Bring it in, son. It's all over. So he'll be looking to bounce back. But we know we've been talking about Nico Hulkenberg and just not getting Saturday right. That's really where the key is. We know it's important every weekend, of course, but he needs to be matching Bortoletto when it comes to qualifying pace. And if he does that, Sauber could be the dark horses with two cars in the top 10. I actually think they're going to have a pretty good weekend out.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's no reason why both cars can't get into Q3 and can't finish in the points. At the moment, I think that car is a little bit more suited to Gabby since they brought those upgrades, man. Gabby's coming to his own. He's cleaning up in qualifying and he's not far off now on head-to-head in the races. So at the moment, he's doing all the heavy lifting. They were the quickest in the speed traps in Monza. So that car on low drag is slippery. So there's absolutely no reason they can't both finish in the points.
Okay, so all the teams are wrapped up. Who is going to be your guy on the Saturday? Who is going to be clinching that pole?
I'm going to say Oscar. Like I said, man, so close. It's whoever can not make a mistake, get yourself into a good position to get a clean lap, maybe get a little bit of a toe. Max is going to be deadly, but I think Oscar might get the job done.
Yeah, I'm going with Max. I think there's something about that Red Bull car that I'm a bit positive about. Maybe I'm on the hopium of that big performance out last time, but I think Max will get the job done, and I think he's going to have Oscar beside him. Who's going to be beside Oscar if you think he's the guy?
I'm going to say Verstappen in P2 and Norris the P3 in qualifying for sure. But
Okay.
you're going to have to be on the track in the right spot at the right time, man. Track evolution is going to be mega here. So
Yeah.
you need to make sure you're in that prime position to get the best out of the track conditions.
Well, I think we'll see Red Bull utilize Yuki Tsunoda as the air puncher for Max down that front straight.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be, I think that'll be a big thing. With the McLarens, obviously, it's going to be a lot more trickier just due to the dynamics of the team championship. But I think for Max, if Red Bull doesn't utilize Yuki in that capacity, I think that may be a missed opportunity. Now, come the race, going to be a Max Verstappen victory, Charles Leclerc P2, and Piastri P3. I think we're going to get some crazy strategy. I think there's going to be some safety cars and there's going to be some shenanigans. So that's what I'm going with. Who have you got?
I'm going to go Oscar first, Max second, Norris third. If we get a safety car, even a VSC, we've had a couple of those now. Oh, man, this one, I reckon, is set up to be a ball terror, man. It is going to be so close. We've seen the last 5 out of 7 races, man, finish by less than 5 seconds. And we're at the end of the rule regulations. We've seen how tight this field is now.
Yeah.
I'm actually really looking forward to this race this weekend.
Yeah, and I'm happy that Pirelli's coming with that softest compound as well, just to throw a little bit more of an extra dynamic into it. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we don't get any team orders and any of the shenanigans that we got out last time at Monza. Look, if Oscar does get a slow pit stop and his place is taken by Lando, if I'm Oscar, I'm definitely calling in the favor for sure. But it'll be interesting to see how McLaren play that out. And looking forward to a massive one. You guys at home would love to hear your thoughts regarding who you think is a favorite and who will round out the podium. And as we always do, you've got the last word. What do we got from you?
Let's go, Oscar. No toe for Norris. Stay clean. Keep off the walls. No papaya rules. Because look, at some point in the season, man, those roles are going to be reversed. And Oscar is going to have to call in that favour. Whether he'll get the favour is yet to be seen. But like I said, man, I think this is going to be super tight, man, and I can't wait. So until then, we'll catch you in the next one.
Catch up.